Crazy, but a female competitor could actually be destroying your memory and chances of winning it all. I'll teach you why hard work can actually sabotage your chances of success. This video will dive into the psychology of success and uncover the dark side of hard work. Prepare to question everything you thought you knew. We're often told that hard work is the key to success. It's drilled into us from a young age. But what if I told you that simply putting in more effort isn't always the answer? What if sometimes your hard work is actually backfiring? It's important to understand the idea of diminishing returns. Think of it like this. When you start something new, every bit of time and investment you put in yields big benefits. But eventually, you hit a point where those returns start to shrink. You're working just as hard, but you're not getting the same results. Then there's the dreaded negative returns. This is where things get tricky. You keep pushing, keep studying, keep working, but instead of improving, you're actually making things worse. Maybe you're overachieving, and perfectionism is leading you to mental exhaustion. Maybe your procrastination and not even getting started. Think about studying for a test. At first, every hour you spend is helping you learn new things. But after a while, you're just rereading the same notes, feeling tired, and your score on practice tests might even go down. You sacrifice your mental health, your social life is gone, all this stress and no improvement. This isn't just about academics. It applies to all areas of life, even extracurriculars. Starting a cool project is productive, but spending hours on the website's design, only gaining 50 followers. These extracurriculars are draining your life force. The problem often stems from tying your self-worth to your work. You might have fused validation and work into a nasty knot, making it hard to step away. However, your effort and attention may be better spent elsewhere. There are two types of people that suffer from the pitfall that hard work is the only way to success. The overachiever perfectionist. For you, it's about control. You want every I dotted and every T crossed, but you end up in a productivity black hole. You sink time into the easy parts to avoid facing the hard parts. The slacker, you're overwhelmed, think it's too much, so you don't even start. This is driven by being lazy, too tired, or too addicted to your phone. Instead of realizing 80% of the benefits, you never even capture that 80% because you never make the investment in time or effort. Now, let's talk about mindset. There are two main types: a growth mindset, where you believe your abilities can improve, and a fixed mindset, where you believe you're stuck with what you have. People with a fixed mindset avoid challenges for the pressure of failure. A growth mindset views challenges as opportunity. And #X20. The point is you can't let the fear of failure hold you back from any task at hand, and that includes learning. Your mind is not fixed, and neither is the possibility of your personal development. What about rewards? Are they always a good thing? Actually, studies show that rewards are not needed for you to start doing something. But having rewards may actually have limitations. See, succeeding in a competition and beating a threat may actually be subjectively more rewarding than actually receiving a reward. Don't let a female competitor invoke so much anxiety that it decreases your performance and cognitive ability. Let it be a positive influence to motivate you further. Or else, the anxiety will consume you and affect retention and encoding of memory. So what's the key? It's about finding the right balance, understanding when to push harder and when to step back, recognizing your limits, and prioritizing your mental health. This requires critical thinking to be productive instead of a hamster on a wheel. It's also important to acknowledge the role of social influence. We don't exist in a vacuum. Our socioeconomic status, upbringing, and access to resources all play a role in our success. That's why understanding bias and advocating for equity are crucial. There's the temptation to believe that because those successful people say hard work was the way for them, that it must be that way for everyone. However, a more holistic approach would be to also consider that we don't live in a vacuum. You should realize you have unique habits, preferences, and limitations that are going to influence you whether you are at a laboratory or trying to solve simple math. There is a paradox in believing everything that people say is the correct way, even if they have reached successful outcomes. The omitted structural issues that were not considered may be very well be the superior approach to achieving a goal. To reiterate, recognizing the need for learning, having a good attitude, and a structured, well-thought plan goes farther than just hard work. There are also many other things to take into account, such as effort. Also, the object and goals are important when taking on a new endeavor. Influence and culture can make or break the experience, and accounted factors such as preference or superior methods and bias should be analyzed thoroughly when looking at the right conceptualization to achieve your goals. This video touched on many aspects that impact your success. There is research that points that having a preference for an explicit or implicit structure to learn something can drastically change the outcome for you. With this information, we encourage people to keep going out and find new ways for encoding methods and the right use of attention and gross planning to maximize the use of your valuable time. Now, there's high attention placed in all these studies, and new data comes out all the time. So take this video with a grain of salt, and as a way to get you started in your own personal journey. Some limitations of this video are that it didn't explore what a balanced life would look like for high-achieving students, or even what the best structure and environment would be for someone who can't just stay at home and has real-world issues to tackle. There also wasn't time to dive into people who had a late start in education, or what some indicators are for success. Also, we can explore some techniques from the CIA to enhance your ability to speed learn. Those are all questions and problems for a new video. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please give it a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more psychology-based content. Thanks for watching.